everybody! My name is Dvalletious. Joining me is The.Spectre. We're bringing you Dota's hard in-house game.
Hello.
Bringing you the best League of Legends players in the world. Which of course are also some of the worst Dota players in the world.
Yeah.
Aha. League of Legends. League of Legends pros are like our bronze people.
Don't be a hater.
I will hate what I want to hate.
It takes skill to play League of Legends. Just like it takes skill to become a septic tank plumber.
Yes, it certainly does. Well put, sir. We're going to see some bands now. They're going to be Nyx Assassin and Keeper of the Light.
And I'm guessing we'll next see Nyx probably banned out, as well as who's the other one that's really popular?
Windrunner. Windrunner will get banned.
No, I don't think so. The Batrider. Forgot about the Batrider. That's the other standard ban. And the Magnus actually getting banned this game. Excelente. So we're not going to be seeing any Mag versus Quap mid mind games. And really, I'd like to see these teams massively mix it up. Get in some crazy heroes. I want to see some Bloodseekers and some Kunkers and... I don't know, maybe a Roof Trellin.
Did you say a Roof Trellin?
I did.
What the hell is a Roof Trellin?
Tree Hunt Protector. That's his name, damn it!
Roof Trellin? That's not a name. That's a description of gutters.
And we see the Darkseer coming out as first pick for the Dota is Hard team. Didn't
well,
even
the
know they
official
had a team
team.
name.
Oh, we have Mr. Zombie.
Yeah, I already commented on that.
I didn't even notice. Our good friend Mr. Zombie here, leading the official Dota is Hard team.
Oh yeah.
Good on you, sir. What is his icon? Is it cards? Yes, it's cards.
It looks like it's a poker game.
It's one of the poker games. Oh, we have a Lena! Screw every other pick. Lena! Yeah!
Keep it in your pantyhose.
Oh, Lena.
And of course, the Shadow Demon Lena combo being extremely potent as a roaming duo. Very useful in a tri-lane early on, and if the lane's going well, they can just split off, smoke gank mid, really take the enemy team down. There's some good drafting coming out from Dr. Alco
10
here.
seconds. Radiant, 5 seconds remaining.
We're going to see the Rubik come out for the Radiant side. Gets to steal some Lena spells. All of them are good. And also the Shadow Demon Disruption. Demonic Purge also pretty decent. We'll see if that changes up the dire picks at all, but I think Teamfight is a lot better to have than being afraid of Rubik stealing said Teamfight.
Indeed.
Who are you typing to?
I am talking to Mr. Project Swift, telling him that I'm represented by Brewmaster because I'm fat, hairy, and often a drunk.
An apt description, I can say from experience.
Of course, yeah. So, yeah,
I'm a troll because I...
You really look like Troll. I don't want to say that in a bad way, but you actually kind of look like Troll.
I'm kind of...
Like, if you put on the helmet and had the skin, like, I could see a Troll cosplay coming out.
I'm kind of thin and gangly with a bigger upper body than my legs. I think it fits in pretty decently.
And he's just throwing axes. He's just throwing axes like all the freaking time. You go over to see this guy and there'll be axes just everywhere.
All over my walls, axes. And we see the Ogre Magi picked up again. It didn't work out too well for the Dire team last game. Hopefully it can be comboed up with some Rubik lifting in a tri-lane to a bit more effect. Ogre not being the greatest tri-laner just because they are in melee range. So unless you're putting them in the kind of 4 position, using them to stack and pull, they're not really going to get much gold from a lane.
Look, there's only one position that Lena's going to be putting an Ogre Magi in, and that's in the on all fours position while she just rams that Laguna blade right up that ass.
And the Life Stealer is going to round out the tri-lane for the Dire, so the Radiant will know
not
exactly
getting banned
what
out
they're
oddly
going
enough.
against.
Taking out the Bat Rider and not the Nakes. Very odd.
Especially in these lower skilled games, you'll find a lot of players can't actually play the hero Bat Rider that well. He does take a surprisingly large amount of kind of macro skill just to keep up the napalm stacks, get off the burning casket, whatever it's called, I can't remember it, flame break, to get off the flame break in the right position and push him back to you. And also knowing when to fly and lasso in and when you really should be backing off.
Dire team ban.
And we do see the Queen of Pain out, so we're not going to see Magnus Queen of Pain mid, or Queen of Pain mid at all after the Magnus was banned out first round, so I'm happy about that. We're going to see some non-standard mid action. Although that being said, we'll probably see something like a Puck or a Templar Assassin coming out. And the Radiant side still needing their carries, so we're probably going to see a lot of carries banned out by the Dire here. They've already taken out the Phantom Lancers, so they'll probably be going for other kind of lower skilled carries such as Luna and maybe I want to say Juggernaut. That would also be another hero I'd love to cast again. I think we got one Juggernaut game in it a little while ago, but definitely would like to cast him again.
10 seconds remaining.
Man, who are you typing to?
People.
If you're going to be typing in the pick stage, turn off your microphone. Because all it is me talking and you going chicka 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 chicka.
Look, I can't help it. Look, I'm telling Liz how to play Lena because it's essential that she understands this. Because I like that hero and don't like to see her maltreated. I typed to her, yes, Lena, and she was like, she said, hopefully I don't make you cry with my badness. And so I had to tell her what to do. It's cheating, but damn it, it's Lena.
It's not really cheating. Telling a hero a good way to play a hero is the DotA's hard spirit. It's not like we're going to call out hero positions for her.
Pulling up the guide there.
Exactly.
In the in-game guide menu.
And of course, DotA is hard, a learning environment. If you have a question, ask someone. We're more than happy to answer. We do have a raid call group up now. A nice little piece of software that gives you free servers. And the Windrunner grunting in frustration at being banned out.
Yeah, Windrunner is a known grunter, so...
And I think probably the last ban for the Dire here will be the Luna, which would definitely fit in as the carry role in the Radiant side. The Radiant also needing to pick up a mid lane hero unless they decide to run the Darkseer or Rubik mid.
Yeah, I do like Rubik mid.
I quite enjoy Darkseer mid as well, although they might have to wait to see the picks from the Dire. I prefer that they picked I prefer they picked up their carry next, just to see who the pick from the Dire was. Because if they do pick up a mid lane hero, then they'll be able to see if Darkseer gets an advantage or not from placing him there. And of course, heroes that he'd be good against would be heroes like a Night Stalker, or something similar who has to go in melee range.
Coming out, he might be their mid.
A very support-heavy, well not support-heavy, but kind of squishy intelligence lineup coming out from the Radiant here. In fact, all of their team is intelligence so far. So not great late game.
It's a very intelligent pick
them.
there. Very intelligent.
Pontastic. Yes, quite.
5 seconds remaining.
We might even see... who are Dire going to pick up as their mid hero? I'd like to see... I think Templar Assassin would be a bad pick because the Ion Shell, Ignite, and the Bane Ultimate is just too much that takes off that refraction. So I don't expect to see a Templar Assassin come out. The puck
Yes,
has
that's
already been
definitely a
taken
hero we
out,
should
so
not
it's the
see.
Queen of Pain. Maybe the Night Stalker? They do pick
And
up the
there's
Luna
Luna.
as
Alright.
their own carry.
The DotA team having a clear advantage at this point with both the Lena and the Luna, two of the best heroes in the game.
It'll be interesting to see how they lane this, because with a Life Stealer, they would generally go in that tri-lane, but Luna needs that early safe lane farm, so we might see a jungle Life Stealer come out and have maybe even Lena and Shadow Demon in a dual lane. They are very strong, and you can even throw Lena on a more farming role if that's what you want to do.
Luna's eyes are purple, you're right.
Reserve time.
And the Radiant will need to pick up their hard carry now, and they go for a Dragon Knight.
Dire team.
So it looks like he will be their carry and the mid hero. Meanwhile, they have the solo offlaner and the Bounty Hunter. So we might even see a Luna in the mid lane with Shadow Demon, Lena, Life Stealer in a tri lane, Bounty Hunter solo off, and on the side of the Radiant, we're more likely to see a Dragon Knight. Ooh, I'm trying to think. Maybe it'll either be the Dragon Knight or the Bane mid, I would say. And then a tri-lane consisting of Rubik, Ogre, and Dragon Knight if it is a tri-lane. If it's not, it'll probably be dual lanes on each lane, except for mid, of course, which will be the one hero. It'll be interesting to see how they lane their lineup.
I mean, as much as I like Luna, I really don't like her as a mid hero, just because she is quite fragile early in the game, and mid is just so easy to get ganked on.
Definitely.
She has absolutely no escape, only a mini stun. She really needs that support hero helping her out.
Definitely. Let me switch over the overlay and start announcing teams. On the side of the Radiant, we have Its Only Game on the Ogre, K on the Darkseer, Mr. Zombie on the Bane, SoapyCub on the Dragon Knight, and Dvalletious or Dvalletious on the Rubik.
And over on the dire side, we have Dr. Alco taking up the Nikes. Oh no! On the Bounty Hunter. El Pantaloonio on the Luna. Tommeh! Taking on the Shadow Demon. And Liz Bean carrying with the Lena. Make me proud, Lizzie. Make me proud.
And a shout out from Mr. Zombie.
Yes, Mr. Zombie, who provided version 1 of our picking overlay. It's now in version 2.0, made by yourself. By myself, rather.
I was going to say, I think you mean yours truly there.
I meant yours truly, but I was looking at I was trying to check things in game at the same time, and it was. Did we cast Arflan? 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 Is that some sort of cake?
It sounds like Aslan's dessert cousin.
Arflan. Lion flan.
And it does look like Bane is going to be taking up that solo mid, whereas Soapy, Rubik... Oh, Soapy. The Dragon Knight, Rubik, and Ogre are going to take that bottom lane at the moment.
We did not know about such landfest. We weren't invited, and we're now very sad about that.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah, you know, it's like saying, hey, did you come to that birthday party on the weekend? And you're like, what?
And this is just evil. We see Mr. Zombie taking up the mid lane Bane and skilling Enfeeble first.
Oh, top lane, top lane, top lane. Oh my god, top lane!
Top lane, oh, the disruption coming out. The stun from Lisbon hitting perfectly on the Darkseer, and the Darkseer skilling Ion Shell first. The open wounds comes out. He's not going to be able to get away. A bit of body blocking from the Shadow Demon coming out.
Slight miss on the... Oh, he's going to just...
One more hit needing to come out, but he's going to come out. Dr. Alco's diving this, but he's going to have to back off or he's going to die. Lisbon actually going to go down to the creeps here. The tower, one last hit.
No, Liz!
And Lena has been killed.
Oh, Liz.
Luckily for her, Darkseer, not an experienced
gold going out for that, though.
Exactly.
And no gold going out for that. But I wonder, does the first blood gold still happen if that happens? Like the next kill, do they get first blood gold?
We can look.
Let's see.
I know it does if it's a Dire is killed with assistance from. That is the first blood gold that gets split up.
But as there's no gold from that kill,
Yeah, I'm not sure if
Because,
it,
I mean,
if it counts as the first blood or not.
Because let me just say, strategically, may be an excellent move.
Oh, definitely.
You know, denying first blood gold, no experience, loses basically nothing because she's, you know, only away from lane for a few seconds, loses the cost of a TP.
Yeah. And we do see the Bane already with his bottle up, using Enfeeble quite effectively on this Luna. Luna not too far behind in the last hits at the moment, still doing quite a decent job even with that Enfeeble damage on her.
Yeah, she is suffering a massive -8 damage that was just devastating to her.
After the Lunar Blessing has been skilled up quite a bit, so
Oh,
the
there is
level
an
1
Invis rune on the
Enfeeble won't be
Bane.
enough.
It's going to use his incredible level 3 ganking skills.
I was going to say, unfortunately, Bane not being the best burst hero at early levels.
And of course, he did get spotted out by walking into tower range.
And also attacking a creep. Lisbean's going to get a little bit
Late
aggressive
roll.
on the Darkseer here. I'd like to see the Darkseer and the Shadow Demon actually switch positions here. The Shadow Demon is a lot better to be that harassing hero, because if they do step out of line a bit, you have the what am I trying to say? The stun that is always assured.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Disruption?
Well, no, I know the word disruption. I mean, there's a word for actually a stun that is, you know, reliable. That's it. A reliable stun on the Shadow Demon to lock the Darkseer in place to get some follow up from either the Lina or the open wounds from the Nakes.
Yeah, and Lina really does need the levels more than the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we see a Sentry Ward placed down by the Radiant on bottom. The Chain Stun coming out, but unfortunately he will be able to walk out of range of that Sentry Ward, so a little bit dangerous for the Bounty Hunter, but he does escape with low health. Still quite a lot of mana and plenty of regen on him down here, so I think he's going to be fine to sit here and invis for the moment. We do also see another Sentry
Yeah, they're going to
Ward
spot
placed
him out
down
with
in
that
lane.
ward.
So it's
They're
going
going
to
to
be...
spot him out with that OBS, so they know he's coming.
Yeah, and it's going to be quite
And there is an
difficult
OBS
for
and
him
a
to
sentry
stay
as
lane.
well in lane. That lane ward.
There is indeed. So some excellent tri-lane play coming out from the Radiant here. Don't draw it, Daniel.
Well, I'm just saying the positioning of the attack sort of corridor
The cone of
between
attack.
those wards. Yeah, the sort of the spear of attack, as it were.
Unfortunately, with these two Radiant supports so intent on harassing down the Bounty Hunter, they have missed stacking and pulling, so he's going to get some free experience and gold under the tower. Of course, that Janata being very useful for under tower because it gives you that bonus damage to get last hits on creeps. Meanwhile, the Dire
Looks like Liz is doing some de-warding up top here.
is indeed a little
Popping off
excellent
that
play there.
dire OBS ward. And placing down a sentry in the, an OBS rather, in the lane.
Yeah, that one was
Here
placed down a
to-
little bit earlier by the Shadow Demon, I believe.
Yeah, that's
when
giving
they
a
last
great
went on
vision
the
of this
Darkseer.
Darkseer for ganks.
And now Darkseer is completely blind with that OBS going away. We do see a disruption coming out on the Darkseer. The stun comes in a little
Oh, the
late, but
stun
still
hits.
hits on the Darkseer.
Still level 1 though.
And they're going into the
So she
tower.
doesn't
They
have
really
that,
shouldn't dive this, taking a lot of damage on both supports just by going into that tower. So I think the
Yeah,
Darkseer
she doesn't
actually
have that
comes out
Dragon
on
Slave
top
yet,
there.
so not a lot of follow-up, unfortunately.
Only level 1 on Lisbean. She has been staying out of the way of the experience range quite a bit, and not actually
I'd love to see
gaining
it
up too
pull
much
this.
on the pull. Unfortunately,
yeah,
now is
she's
not a
gonna
good time
suffer
to
for this
pull.
late game. Yeah, the Darkseer is only level 2 though, so they've been keeping him out of XP range quite effectively.
Yeah, definitely. The off lane of the Dire getting far more with the Bounty Hunter up at level 5. He has taken a lot of damage again. Probably mainly due to that Sentry Ward that was placed there. It is now expired, so they'll need to place another one down.
That's a first
if they
blood.
want to take it
Oh,
out.
there's the
And
first
there we
blood
go.
for 455. I'm going to
It
say
looks
that
like,
that looks like first blood gold.
Yeah, it is definitely, and First Blood sound coming
Dire's
out as well,
mid
and
tower
saying
won't
First
last
Blood, a
much
good
longer.
indicator.
Well, shut up. It might have not had the gold.
And the Bane, of course, getting that kill off by using
Dire's
his
mid
Fiend
tower
script
could
and
use a
following
little
it up with a level 4 Brain Sap that does 300 pure damage, which is half of Luna's HP pool at this point. opting to go for a bottle.
Yeah.
So this Bane is really going to be
really
able
the
to...
best.
Dire's mid towers having technical
Bottle not really the
difficulties.
best item on Luna. She doesn't really need that mana regen. Like that.
She
that
doesn't need
burst
the
mana
burst regen, exactly. A Ring of Aquila is a much better pickup for her. And
Because I mean, at these early stages, she is really just a walking ulti until she gets up enough farm for it to be an effective right clicker.
Exactly, and we do also see the Soul Ring picked up by Bane, so he's going to be able to spam out that Brain Sap indefinitely. But it does look like he's actually going to go on the Bounty Hunter here. He starts off with the sleep, but he needs some stun follow-up here. And the lift, and the dust pop as well. And the Bane gets the kill with that Brain Sap. So an excellent pickup. An excellent pickup from the Rubik there, popping off the dust. And it looks like it was his actual second charge popped. So maybe it wasn't the Sentry one before, but the dust that did so much damage to the Bounty Hunter. We now see the Lina and Shadow Demon rotating out of lane. Unfortunately, the Lina is only at level 2, and she is the main damage source of that roaming combo. It would be much better to have the Shadow Demon at level 2 and the Lina on level 4.
Yeah, they are going to smoke up. Looks like they're going to go down mid lane, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it with Lina so under-leveled against a level 8 Bane.
And you can see
he
the
does
sleep
put
already
Nightmare on
coming
there.
up.
Now, what they want to do is they want to take that off him. Off the Luna.
Unfortunately, just harassing out with some spells that do both miss. Bane
Radiant's top
very
tower's
fast-paced movement speed, 315 at level 1, and with just a pair of normal boots, he's sitting at 365 already. So only the Luna with a chance to catch.
Bad shape.
That Light Striker Ray does have quite a small cast range, so you do need to be quite close in before you can hit it off. A lot of players tend to cast it when they're quite a way out of range, and then the hero has to walk up to the spot before casting it, and the timing is just thrown off.
It does lead to a lot of missed stuns. The same can also be said of Witch Doctor's Maledict, which requires you to be quite close to use it, and a lot of people miss out on that. And the Bane with a haste
killing spray
rune
taking out the Luna.
picks out the Luna again with the ultimate Brain Sap combo. It's just 3 kills for him here.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Really doing wonders for his team at the moment. He's going to pick up some mana boots as well, so this Bane is really rolling for early game. Meanwhile,
yeah, he's definitely happy with himself. I mean, look at that grin.
Unfortunately, the Darkseer isn't, not the Darkseer, the Dragonite isn't farming up that well, sitting only at 11 last hit, so without the late game, we're going to see the Bane fall off quite a bit. If the Dire side do manage to turtle enough, and the Dragonite isn't able to get up that farm, I think that the Dire side with the Nakes and Bounty Hunter and Luna will be able to take the game out.
Yeah, Bane not known for being the most efficient carry in the game.
I've only seen one instance where Bane did very well into late game. I was watching a very high level game of one of my friends, and someone on his team that was playing the Bane actually opted for an early Shadow Blade. So he did quite a bit of damage coming out of that Invisible, straight into a Fiend's Grip and Brain Sap, and he also brought up a Dagon. So it was basically like having a Nyx Assassin on your team, but instead of the Spike Carapace, he stole back 300 health. It was quite a devastating combo, and it actually led to them winning because he managed to go into the base and pick off the other team's hard carry with the Shadow Blade Fiend's Grip and some follow-up from their team's carry. To take out the Raxes. So the Bane still can be very relevant into late game with that Fiend Script, and it will be very useful for combating the Nakes when he's in rage.
Yeah, that's always a great spell.
He does see a bit of fall off from the early game. Ooh, it looks like he wanted to go on that Luna, but just being out of range for a cast there.
Lina is here, but she's very low health.
In fact, if Bane just comes up and brings up
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
Because it is pure damage, it's not reduced by any kind of resistance. And she's sitting at 270 health. Even now, the Bane could go for a 1-sap kill. A regen rune is picked up, but Bounty Hunter, maybe sensing that something isn't right with the Bane being missing, is backed way up. He's actually sitting at the 2nd tower now. It looks like some pings are coming out from Bane, maybe thinking that there's a ward there because the bounty hunter has backed up so much, but not the case. In fact, the ward's not being there, both getting the top room spot. So just some good map sense coming
Pure
out there
game
from the bounty
sense.
hunter.
Pure sense there.
Meanwhile, the Darkseer is actually doing quite a good job now after being zoned out so effectively in the early game. He's managed to pick up his Soul Ring and is getting a lot of CS and experience from these double Ion Shell creep waves. And we'll see... We'll take a quick look at the experience. Going 750 in the wave to die, but it has been a very up and down game so far from the look of it. And the gold... Also in the same vein, but actually going 500 the way of the Radiant. So a bit of a mix there. This Luna has spotted out the two heroes rotating top. It'll be interesting if the Dire decides to go on this. And Liz actually going down to the Ion Shell damage from a creep. I don't think Darkseer was expecting that at all, but Liz just only sitting at level 2 and with boots, unable to get away from the creep, and goes down to the Ion Shell.
He wasn't even there. I don't even think he was aware of that creep with an Ion Shell.
Exactly, it's just a free kill and gold for the Darkseer, who does also pick up some mana boots. So we have 2 sets of mana boots on the Radiant already. I'd like to see Darkseer pick up a mech now and start working towards that, just so they have a bit more teamfight presence.
Yeah,
and
they're gonna go on
surge
top.
in, but a
Bane
good
does get
disruption there from Tommeh. But they are going to pick up the next. The sleep comes out, the Ion Shell is on, and he breaks the sleep with the ultimate. Ion Shell damage doing a lot, but Nates is going to run away and infest into a low level creep. He comes out, the Bane is on low health, excellent play there from the Dire. Nates rages up and gives chase to the Darkseer, but the Surge comes off cooldown right now, so he'll be able to just surge away if need be. But it looks
Dire's
like
mid tower's having technical difficulties.
They might go on this
Just not enough
mid,
follow-up damage.
and that is the problem with that Bane, just all single targeting abilities. If a few more heroes turn up, there's not too much kind of multi-hero crowd control like you'll see from the Lina.
And of course he couldn't get that brain sap off because Snakes immediately had queued up the rage.
Not showing up on my screen
Use a
actually.
hand.
It looked like he just walked to the creep straight off and didn't rage up. The
I
Shadow
thought he
Demon-
raged and then ran to the creeps. I could be wrong.
I don't believe
I
he did,
could
but the
be wrong
Shadow
there.
Demon staying too long in the mid, getting chain stunned out there, being slapped, then Ogre stun, and also the Rubik with the lift.
The Dire best do something about
No,
that bottom
I
tower.
think Nate's just simply ran into the creep and infested, and then raged after
Okay.
he popped
Well,
out.
no brain sap coming out either way, so
Radiant's top
It
tower
wouldn't have
is
been
hurting.
enough damage.
Perhaps,
He's sitting at about 1.2k health, and he did have a
Oh, it
round.
wouldn't have killed him, for sure,
to
but,
a
you know.
half. It would have helped the Bane a bit,
Radiant's top
but I
tower is
think he
taking
might have actually
hits.
used it on a different hero, because it didn't come out on anyone else, and he was running away. I believe it was on cooldown. The sleep comes out on the Luna, followed up by the stun, followed by the lift. Meanwhile, the Fiend script's going out on the Bounty Hunter. They need to follow this up, but unfortunately, such low cooldown spells, but the Brain Sap is enough to take him out. So, Bane showing there that he can solo a Bounty Hunter 1 vs 1 from full health, just with his ultimate and a Brain Sap. And we're going to see the multiple mana boots popped off by the Radiant here, and they're all back at full. Meanwhile, Rubik has stolen the Shadow Walk of the Bounty Hunter, so some invisible lift's going to come out here. The disruption smartly goes out on the Rubik, but unfortunately
Two down.
the Shadow Demon's still going down, and the Bane also gets
Them
picked
dire
up by a
buildings are
combination
tough
of
as
Fade
nails
Bolt
for now.
and Brain Sap.
I'm not gonna lie to you here. I forgot that there was a Rubik in this game.
And the Radiant really taking control
Hope the
now.
Dire weren't partial to that mid tower.
Sitting at 10-3, the experience actually going 1.5k
Dire's
in the wave. The
mid-tower
Radiant
won't
still, I
last
think
much
that's going to
longer.
be updated in a moment because it looks like the kills.
We have an invis double damage Bane. Double damage is gonna run out in a sec, but here
1.5K.
comes invis Bane.
1.5k experience in the way of the Dire, and around 2.5k gold, so a decent early game lead for them. The only problem I see that this team will have is pushing uphill. Their team is very single target based with the kind of Ogre, the Bane, and really the Rubik is, I would consider, even though he has Fade Bolt, the lift only works on one person. The Vacuum is decent for that, but not too excellent. We see the ultimate coming out on the next already. The Ignite is thrown out as well. They need to stack these stuns, but the stun comes out before he rages. The lift comes out as well. The rage comes out, but the auto attack damage will be enough. The Eclipse is popped out, hits completely on the Bane and just melts him down. Meanwhile, the Shuriken and Track gets tossed out on the Rubik, and that is a Track kill for the Dire side, and a 2-for-1 trade.
Guess what's happening?
Killing the next off
Yeah, I'd
is
like to see
always
this
important,
Lena.
but I don't think it's worth the early
Luna.
Bane.
Yes, indeed. No, I agree. I'd like to see the Luna pick up a 4-star at this point. It's really good for her mobility and positioning, and it turns her into Mirana. So
Nova.
yeah, pretty much. She just says, "No,
Just
fuck
leaps
it, Nova.
forward.
We're going for some jumps."
You know what,
Do
that
some
would
leaps,
actually be an
and then,
interesting build, because
that's
it
it.
would keep people in range for Eclipse as well. Even though she does
Yeah,
has
that's what I use it for,
extremely
I
high
mean-
movement speed, I think a Yasha would basically do the same thing and offer her a lot more in the way of, being able to be turned into Manta later game. But maybe something I can try out in a bot game and see how it works. It's always good for escapes as well,
I
you
have
can
done
push yourself
the
over
4-star
cliffs.
myself. I've done the 4-star myself many times, and it is quite effective, I've found. A lot of times heroes will just be on that edge, and you'll just leap forward. They won't be expecting it. The Eclipse comes out of nowhere. They think they're safe, but they're never safe.
Of course, an extremely
And of course, you can use it on your
situational build.
allies as well. It does give that assistance to your allies as well, being able to get them in or out of sticky situations.
It does help a more team-oriented item, of course, but it would be much better for, say, the Shadow Demon or Lena to try and pick up a 4-star and then just use it on the Luna in those team fights. Or the other heroes to get them away. Luna eating a lot of damage from the Ion Shell there, having to bottle up here. Still only sitting at around 900 health, so quite low. We'll see the Lena actually has some sentry wards. She should be placing them down here as the Dire have put an observer ward there. The ping does come out from Liz, but the ping's also from the Radiant showing the ward there, so they're going to de-ward that, and kind of a waste of a ward there, especially with Lena having the sentry ward there. They should have put that down in the river and de-warded straight away if they were going to put a ward up.
Yeah.
Darkseer taking down a tower for free at bottom tower, and he has picked up the mechanism now.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the
And we see the ultimate coming out on the Luna, and the Brain Sap will be enough to kill her off. But even just channeling the full ulti is enough. Brain Saps the Luna to take all the health back. The open wounds comes out on the Bane.
Oh, and hits her with her own Dragon Slave.
The Dragon Slave stolen and used to great effect.
And about to come out again. Throw down the Slave
Buyback
Rubik.
from Luna. The Bounty Hunter gets stunned up and Dragon Slave. The burn is out there. The Ion Shell damage is enough in combination with the Ignite damage to take down that Bounty Hunter. The Nax does have his armlet up, but he's extremely low on health at the moment. I'd really like to see Bane pick up a Blink Dagger this game. I think it would offer them great initiation, and his ultimate is just doing so much damage to all the heroes on the Radiant at the moment.
Yeah, this Radiant team is just Team Ellipses right now. ...
Not good at all.
Ellipses is the name of 3 dots.
I know what it is.
Dot being a damage over time. Just in case our viewers didn't know, not everybody knows the intricacies of grammar and whatnot. Another interesting punctuation mark is the interrobang, which is a combination of an exclamation point and a question mark. If anyone is interested, the Unicode for it is alt8253. Use it in emails and impress your friends.
Thank you for that wonderful fact of the day, Danimus. I'm sure that our many viewers will be thrilled by that piece of insight.
Interrobang, it's the way of the future.
And some de-warding coming out from the die here.
By marketing.
The Bane sitting at 2.3k gold now. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for his next item. Has been sitting on it for a while. He could go several kind of avenues with the gold. He could go for something like the Shadow Blade or Blink for some more initiation power. Or he could go for something more like a Hex or a Yules for more disable.
Top tower.
Or even something like Shivers for a bit more teamfight presence. Or a Dagon. There are quite a few valid item choices
Veil of
for
Discord.
a Bane. Yes, or even a Veil to help out his
Discord.
team's massive magic damage.
Just the smackdown would be there.
The disruption on the Rubik, not followed up by the soul capture, or the demonic purge, really missing out on a kill attempt there. The bounty hunter comes through with the track, hits the shuriken, but not getting in range. Actually has a ghost scepter, so
Bottom tower.
popping off the dust and a sentry
probably
ward placed down, but they're running back down.
To me, the Scepter seems like a dangerous plan against a Lena and a Luna.
Yeah, definitely. If he pops that ghost scepter and Lena notices,
The Dire might want
it's
to mine
basically
the
a
top
free
tower.
kill. It's 600
Radiant's
damage.
bottom
that
tower ain't a pretty sight
takes
right now.
40% extra magic damage, and with
Dire's
no
top
points up in
tower's
his
getting
null
beat
field,
down.
he's gonna die from an ultimate.
Radiant's
Maybe
bottom
a straight
tower's
ultimate,
getting
but definitely
beat.
by an ultimate dragon slave.
I think pretty much a straight ultimate. I mean, that's got to be at least a good 800 damage there. So if he's taking any damage at all,
Yeah, except he does have the 25
I mean,
magic resistance up, even with the
Hell.
even with the ghost scepter's extra 40%. It's not quite 40. Darkseer trying to run ahead, but getting body blocked by his own team.
Dire's
Doesn't have the
mid-tower
ion
won't
shell on
last much
himself.
longer.
He has put it up now, and this is going to be the death of
Somebody's on a
Darkseer.
roll.
The brain sack getting the final hit. And Bane now sitting at about
and
3k.
you of course mean Shadow Demon, not Darkseer there.
Yes, I do. Darkseer wanting to use Ion
Death of
Shell,
the
and
Darkseer.
the Shadow Demon getting caught out. Death of the Shadow Demon.
Goes down to his own Ion Shell. It's always funny when a Rubik's on the other side from a Darkseer and manages to steal that Ion
Radiant's
Shell,
top tower's
because
in bad shape.
nobody has any idea which one they have to run away from.
It is good if you place it on one of the ally
Radiant's
heroes.
top
People
tower's
get
taking
very
hits.
confused and run next to the hero and they're like, why am I taking damage from this? Luna meanwhile trying to take out a tower at top, but unable to do so, and Darkseer oddly throws out an Ion Shell on a range creep that was being attacked by a tower.
Look, he panicked. Something needed a shell on it.
And the tower is in deny range, so after these creeps are down, I like to see them go and deny that.
And not even after, he's going to deny it right
Radiant
now.
disowned the top tower.
And it is denied. The
Look
dust.
at that net worth, it's actually Darkseer sitting at the highest there.
Yeah, the double Ion Shell doing a lot of damage, and he's also almost built up a pipe. He has picked up the headdress recipe, so only about 700 gold off completing a pipe. The Dragonite, having a soul ring in his stash, and basic boots still, he really needs to make those into treads. And sitting quite far down in the farm, surprisingly enough, even though he has had relative free farm.
Oh,
The
Luna's
Luna
in
being
trouble.
caught out by his sleep. No follow-up so far. Bane wants to do this without using his ultimate,
Oh,
and
there's
they'll
plenty of
easily be able
follow-up.
to take him down, take her down
They're just
rather.
luring her team in. That's all they're
The
doing.
Nax is currently infested into the Invis Bounty Hunter, so maybe some attacks coming out from here. They could easily take down the Rubik, but I think if they do pop out, they'll instantly be burst down by the entire Radiant team that's sitting in the wings
His
here.
Invis is about to run out and he's going to reveal himself. And he does. No great element of surprise there. Probably should have run up into the trees, re-invised and come back. Because
Definitely.
they now know that bounty hunter's here.
Oh, the multicast coming out on
Multicast,
Lisbeth and the Ignite. That's
Oh,
going to
and
be
Bane's
enough to
behind
kill her
her.
off. Bane takes her down. It looks like the Rubik's going to go down in this fight. The
Next
Ghost
is going on
Scepter's
Rubik,
popped
but he's
off.
popped off the Ghost
Manages to
Scepter.
run away. The lift and the
turns
Fiend
around to do
Script
the
coming
lift.
out on the Nax. A bit of armor
A
toggling
little
there.
bit of
Gets him back up
overkill
and
for the
up.
stuns there.
But the breathe fire enough to take
He does
him
go down to the Dragon Breath though. The breathe
Radiant's
fire.
bottom tower ain't a
Yes.
pretty sight right now.
That's why I said breathe fire.
Dire's mid tower's having
I said
technical
Dragon Breath.
difficulties.
That's why I corrected myself.
And a
Radiant's
tower
bottom
actually
tower's
taken
done
by the
for.
creeps there. Bane trying to TP down to possibly deny it, but
Dire's
unfortunately
mid
just a
tower
moment
could use
too
a little
late.
help.
And you can see him just attacking this range creep. The real weakness of the Bane is he offers absolutely no counter, which is going to take him another 3 or so hits to take out this single siege unit. So if the Dire is able to
Luna unfortunately hasn't picked up. She's just picked up a mithril hammer. And my shop seems to be broken, so I have no idea what that builds into, other than a Desolator.
BKB.
And a BKB.
A BKB would be the item that she's going for. Of course, a BKB being an excellent counter to the Radiant, because only the Fiend script goes through that BKB, and the rest of their high damage team is basically useless, with the Dragon Knight not having any physical damage.
Radiant's mid
only sitting at about 110 there. So
now
BKB,
it's working. She could also get a Maelstrom. She could also get a Maelstrom.
She could.
I know items, I know what they build into.
But it would be very silly. See, this is why you need to play the item game more, Daniel.
Look, I'm bad at the item game, alright? I lose the item game.
The Bounty Hunter has picked up a Medallion of Courage and looks to be building into some drums now, only 350 gold off them. The Shadow Demon, meanwhile, has picked up his Mana Boots. Possibly going to go into a 4-staff next, but obviously being that lowly support, not going to have a lot of gold for a long time. Meanwhile, the Lena just walking around with Tranquil Boots.
I was just going to say, Tranquil Boots not really the best item on Lena.
If you're playing a roaming Lena,
down if they're broken, and
yeah, if you're playing an aggressive roaming Lena, it's very good. But Arcane's definitely the better boot choice if you do well in the early game and you can get up that 1k gold. But unfortunately, with the kind of laning that
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Oh, and she's just used to spell on those illusions.
Unfortunately, with the start that she had, Mana Boots weren't really an option, and Tranquil Boots are a decent pickup on her, because it does give her that kind of initiation power to walk in with the plus movement speed and get off a stun.
I don't know. I've turned very sour on Tranquil Boots overall since their big old nerfs. I don't
the thing is, it isn't too great of a nerf, because it's all about positional play. If you're taking 3 hits from heroes, you're pretty much out of position anyway, unless you're against a tri-lane, in which case, you know, Tranquil Boots aren't a good option anyway, because you want to be getting up the Mana Boots to support the tri-lane. And for heroes that...
Don't take away my move speed, man.
And for heroes that can really use it in the early game, such as Luna for lane staying power with her early low mana pool, and also heroes like Phantom Lancer, who can always go Tranquil Soul Ring, it's still a very, very valid pickup. And it's probably the only boot I would ever go for on Lion, because of course he does get that mana drain for all of his mana needs, and the extra movement speed on the Tranquils is so good for walking up and doing Split Earth Hex and getting a finger off it. Early game, it just completely wrecks teams.
What about Treads?
Treads not so great.
Gets extra health from them, extra health pool.
Not too necessary on
strength
the line.
Treads. It's like 100 extra health.
I believe it's 119 or something weird like that.
Whatever. Better than your 250 health over 20 seconds. Easy better. Easy.
Away. And if we look at the experience, the Radiant was around 7.5k ahead, but the Dire pulling it back, probably with a bit of kills going their way, and the gold is staying quite steady at about 7.5k, so not a big advantage for the Radiant here. I think they really need to pressure them a lot more in these kind of early mid-game stages.
I've got a smoke gank going on mid here, and I don't know if you've pointed it out, but the Bane does have his Aghanim's Scepter up.
Yeah, I hadn't pointed that out. Not really a great pickup on the Bane, I must say. It only adds 1 second duration to his ultimate. It does up the damage, and means that it increases mana drain as well. But a Scythe is a better pickup. It just plain is. Even though you get a bit of health and mana from the Aghanim Scepter, having an extra disable on top of your already kitted out kit is a lot more helpful. using an ultimate
but
and
James,
then
I mean,
and then hexing up a life stealer is a lot more valuable than the extra 1 second of hold.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, they are going to really struggle to shut down that ultimate. I mean, they only have 4 stuns on their team.
Exactly.
On 4 different heroes. I mean,
something like a BKB or a Lincoln's even would have been a bit of a better pickup than the Aghanims, but obviously Mr. Zombie not fearing the stuns coming out from the Dire side.
fears no stuns.
And the Rubik, after picking up that Ghost Scepter, not too much item progression, so it's kind of stagnating a bit with the items here. The Ogre Magi has picked up a Force Staff, so we might see some good escapes and initiation use with that. And the Darkseid does
still
have the
working on her
Mecha Pipe.
BKB. Working on that BKB.
Has it completed?
He has a mech and a pipe?
He does. And also
the
1.6k gold.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I thought you said Shadow Demon.
No,
You said Shadow Demon. I'm like, what? No, he doesn't.
Radiant Ward will
Like,
spot out Lisbeth.
hasn't got enough gold for them.
The 4-star forward from the Ogre. Will Rubik get in range? He does just. He's pulled out the stun, but a TP coming in, and there's going to be back up here.
Tower could use a hand.
At the moment, Rubik is too far out to be alone there. We're going to see 5 for the Radiant grouping up middle. The Dragonite looks like he's also building into a BKB with the Mithril Hammer already picked up. But, quite a good spread of farm in this game, actually. If you look at the net worth, it's just going Radiant Dire, Radiant Dire, Radiant Dire. Lisbeth just picked out and just completely obliterated by the magic damage on the Radiant side.
Yeah,
which is
quite
why that
solidly
BKB
in the
pickup from the
Radiant favor, though.
very good.
Quite solidly in the Radiant favor, though. If we look at the graphs, there's a good lead there of about 5k in both gold and XP.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
It's
More
not
than
too
5K,
great,
yeah.
and I think it's a little bit too close for comfort.
Tower.
The
Dire went and fortified their structures.
and also a Nakes on the enemy team, especially with Nakes being
Oh, yeah,
quite high in the
it's
tower.
by no means a game that's over, but they do have a lot more kills.
Yeah, the problem is that the hero that they really want to be farmed, their only hard carry, the Dragonite, is actually sitting around 4th on the ladder at the moment. Currently being outstripped by the Nakes, but luckily for the Dragonite, the other 3 in the top 4, or the other 2 rather, are Radiant heroes.
Tower.
So,
Yeah, it's unfortunate
that
that Bounty Hunter hasn't really been able to take on this to farm this Rubik or the Ogre Magi or even the Bane.
Yeah, they're just sticking too closely together, and that is actually excellent play from the Radiant, not allowing themselves to be caught out of position by this bounty and letting the track kills go their way. Yeah, they are certainly holding decks. And we see all 5 grouped up again on the top lane, really wanting to keep their magic damage and burst in one area. And it looks like the Dire are actually going into Roshan. With the medallion of the bounty hunter, he's actually going to go down quite quickly. And I believe
the Dire might want to mine the top tower. Dire's got one last top tower. The Dire
there is the Dire. There is Roshan going down. Lifestealer drops the TP scroll to pick it up. But unfortunately, this means he's going to have to walk all the way back to base. And because of this, the Radiant are going to push uphill into that tower. But here we see the issue I was stating before. Pushing uphill is going to be a big problem for them. And Liz being missing with the stun and getting caught out by the ultimate. The Eclipse gets popped up and then disrupted. So a bit of free Eclipse damage coming out. And she drops the BKB to run away. Still up for another few seconds because it is that first 10-second charge, but the Radiant is sitting uphill attacking this tower. And as I said before, they're having real problems taking it down. There are 5 heroes bashing on this tower uncontested, and it still takes a good 20-30 seconds to go down.
Yeah, Nakes is just sitting in this bounty hunter waiting to come out. And he does emerge in the Nightmare.
But he gets instantly goes down. Luckily, he does have that Aegis, so he'll come back at full health and starts to go on the Dragonite. But I think he really needs to pick up someone else. The Rubik is in the Shadow Walk at the moment. And as soon as he pops out of range, he gets multicast and Breath 5 down, just grouping up. No one from the Dire coming through with him.
Stun.
Yeah.
Radiant's mid tower's
A
getting
lot of
banged
skill
up.
coming out here from its only game. There's some really skillful play that'll definitely just put them far ahead.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Dire's
Ooh, the stun coming out of 3 heroes, but the Dragon Tail set of extra range and the Breeze Fire and
Radiant's
Brain
mid
Sap,
tower could
and
use a
after this
hand.
instantly melt loose. Trying to go on the DK here, and the Demonic Purge and Shadow
Radiant's
Poison
mid
Queen
tower's
taken
coming
down.
apart.
That is a track kill for the Dire, but meanwhile, their Rax is going down and still alive. This Bane really needs to turn around and just attack the Rax. It's at 80 health at the moment.
Somebody's on a 2 down.
His ultimate takes him down, and Rubik getting the last hit. The Ignite Burn will be enough to take down that Shadow Demon as well. And the mech heal
And the Rubik
comes
gets rid of the
off.
racks.
And that's going to be enough for them to push again. It looks like they'll back out for now because
Liz and Alco are coming back in though.
Alco
They're
does
gonna
have
back
that
off though
Maelstrom
quite
up.
wisely.
And
Guess
not
what's
getting his
happening with
Mjolnir as
Dire's
well.
bottom tower?
Yeah, that's really gonna help escalate his farm, which is
Dire's
Nice.
bottom tower's getting the business.
nice for him.
Unfortunately, not too much
And he can get that now.
opportunity to
Just couldn't
farm these
save that
lanes.
bottom tower.
And DK does pick up the BKB while he's dead. So on respawn, he'll have that in his inventory. We see the Lena still just sitting on those Tranquil Boots and a Bracer. They're trying to get a bit of health up against the burst, but it's still going to be far too much for her to handle. And these creeps are just pushing into this bottom lane, unable to be cleared off quickly enough.
Yeah,
I'd
Liz
really
should
like
really
to
be
see her
using
use
her spells to... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just to quickly clear the lane. Of course, Light
Yeah,
Strike
you can
Array
quite
and
easily
Dragon
clear a
Slave.
lane with 2 spells.
Exactly.
Yeah, you always throw the Light Strike first, and then the Dragon Slave right afterwards.
It
I
is
do at
a
least.
very effective way to farm on a support hero, and it does make Lena quite good because she does offer that counter push as well.
And bear in mind as well, you can cast the Dragon Slave pretty much at the same time as the Light Strike if you throw out the Light Strike first.
You can indeed because of that cast
Because
delay.
Lena does... Yeah, she does stop... She does cast it, and then there is a delay before it comes down. So
Liz B
there's a
is
lot of bursts when you hit them both at once.
Caught out and burst down. The Bracer not doing much to help
That
her.
massive dragon!
Whoa!
Look at how big he is!
What is going
Look
on?
at that!
Bottom tower.
He's got his Bloodlust on, I think, as well.
Yeah, it would be Bloodlust BKB Dragon, and that is just a giant golden dragon bashing down on your door. Alco looks like he wants to come in, but with that
that is the
enfeebled
biggest
damage,
hero I've ever seen.
minus 87 on damage on him when he has that enfeeble up.
Oh,
So I've got to say the Dire
magnificent dragon.
are awaiting their death here. It will still take a while for this tower to be pushed down. You have the Empower just making that dragon enormous.
Dire gave up bottom tower.
The stun comes out on loose speed, the breeze fire, and the brain sap is taking her down. Just every time she even gets near, just being picked off instantly. The BKB popped off by the Luna comes in with the Eclipse, but it gets spread over creeps, unfortunately.
Eats those creeps.
The multicast comes
Dire's
out on the
mid-tower is
base.
having
He does
technical
rage up.
difficulties.
Everyone's vacuumed in. And a lot of auto attack damage coming out on the next, but he infests up, bursts out, and gets caught by the Bane instantly. The DK is BKB'd up, and the Luna will go down to the Ion Shell damage. That was on the Bane. The Bane comes out now, but with no mana to cast
from
the
these
spells,
Radiant heroes, they're gonna have to back
down.
up.
Tower won't last much longer.
A sentry ward is placed down so they can see that bounty on the
Radiant's mid tower's getting
The
banged
Shadow
up.
Demon gets taken down by the
Dire's mid
creeps.
tower could use a little help.
Very unfortunate. And now a Mystic Staff
Radiant's
also picked
mid
up by
tower
the
could
Ogre.
use
It
a
looks like
hand.
he's going to be going for a Scythe or maybe a Shivers of his own. Bane has picked up nothing at the moment, sitting at 5.4k gold. I'd like to see something like...
He's going for a straight Divine Rapier.
I'd like to see him pick up something like an Orchid. It's quite good on Bane. You can silence up the Nakes before he can even pop off that ultimate, and just let your team melt him down with their burst magic damage. He does actually pick up an ultimate orb, so it looks like he might be going for that Scythe of Vice after all.
Bane makes me think of something out of Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, it is quite
see
similar to
that
that
film?
weird eye creature
One of
in
those sort
the
of-
dungeon.
Yeah, it's like it's a very sort of Jim Henson kind of monster, you know.
The spindly limbs. And
Exactly.
Rubik,
He looks like he should be a puppet.
Rubik
Some
also
sort of an
picking up a
adult
4-star. And Darkseer just absolutely owning this net worth chart at the moment. Just with all of the Ion Shell creeps. With a pipe, a mech, and a shivers. He's got the point booster, so it looks like in 1,000 gold he's even going to have an Aghanim Scepter up as well. For some reason, Luna has popped off a BKB charge in base. I think that must have been a mistake there.
Illusion.
And it's down to a 6-second cooldown now, and he's on cooldown for the next 50 seconds. Probably just a bit of a
Yes,
misclick
indeed.
there. If we take a look at the XP after those last few team fights, it's going about 18k in the way of the Radiant and another 17k or so gold, so not looking like they're going to slow down anymore. They're being oddly passive on the map at the moment, possibly waiting for a Roshan respawn, but that's not going to happen for about another 3 minutes. But they do now group up in middle, so it looks like they might get aggressive. The Bounty Hunter is slept, and it will be followed up by an ultimate, and look at all that damage coming out.
Seriously,
The
I lost
Bounty Hunter
count.
just completely obliterated. And it looks like a gem is up on the
Yeah,
Ogre
his
Magi
brain
as
was
well
well
now.
and truly sapped.
A gem is up on
bottom
Ogre, so
racks,
they're going to be able to
happy
spot out
place.
any defensive wards or sentry wards placed
Trouble
down.
brewing at
And they're going
Radiant's
to just
bottom
go
tower.
in and hit on the racks at the moment. Yes, he does have backdoor protection. The ultimate coming out from the lead.
Somebody's on Radiant's bottom tower ain't pretty
Doing
sight
a
right now.
lot of damage, but unfortunately the
15
attack damage of the
Lena does not
Radiant
have
doing
backdoor
far too
protection,
much.
so...
And that's a 4 for 0 kill. The only one taking any damage is the Rubik, who's still sitting on a good 3/4 health.
The
And I've got to
Dyer's
say,
bottom
this is
racks
good
got
game here with 4 heroes down, middle pushing into all they're going
Radiant
to
lost one of them bottom
tower.
tower. Dyer's bottom racks.
And the
Yes,
GG
unfortunately the
is
Dire team
called.
does not have backdoor protection, and they have been well and truly buggered this game.
Unfortunately.
Dyer's
we do
mid
see
towers
the
having
GGs coming out, and
technical
it'll be,
difficulties.
Just a little while until the racks and the base will go down.
The Dyer couldn't hang on to that mid tower.
GG. So despite their clearly superior heroes in Lena and Luna not able to
Dyer's
bring
mid
that
rags ain't doing
victory
so well.
home,
The Dyer's mid rags.
Unfortunately, the burst
it
damage
looks like
of
Liz
the
is going to
early
go
run
down
thing.
again.
The scythe coming out, and Liz is going to take another death. The Shivers Guard comes out, a self-disruption by the Shadow Demon, and
Dyer's mid
force
rags.
himself out.
Radiant's
So a
got a
big little
case of
play
the
there.
naked creeps. Radiant's
Shadow
top
Demon
tower's
there.
hurting.
Hit the Bane, ultimates him in base. Will it be enough to kill him off? One more tick,
Who
it
knows
is!
how many that was?
Gets the
Radiant's
kill
top
on the
tower
Bane.
was taking hits.
And they're just fountain camping at the moment. They do have mega creep, so it'll be only a moment before they completely push in. Oh.
Dyer's mid tower won't last.
There's not much more you can say about this game. The Bane played excellently in middle lane there, really set up some openings for his team. The game probably would have ended a little bit earlier if the Dragon Knight was able to farm a bit more effectively. Some good defenses coming out
Dyer's
from the
mid
Dire
tower's
side.
having technical
But
difficulties.
really, an interesting draft from the Radiant. I wouldn't say it was a great draft, but
Dyer's
the way
mid
that they
tower
managed
won't
to put
last
it
much
together and
longer.
then execute it was
Dyer's
extremely
mid
good.
tower's nothing now.
Look at that, I mean,
Dyer's mid tower.
the level, the
Dyer
19
weren't
kill
partial
Bane.
to that tower.
What are you going to do against that?
Exactly, and there's just so much.
I mean,
magic
Bane
in
is
it.
not a ganking kind of hero.
Too bad.
I mean, Bane definitely is.
The
Hitting
Radiant
at level 6, you can just walk into a side lane,
But I
Fiend
mean,
stroke
he's
someone,
not-
and use your brain sap, and that's a good 900 damage. Well, not 900, but about, I think it's about 600
Yeah, I
damage.
guess.
Maybe 650.
I don't know.
If you have even one hero following
I mean,
it up,
it's
it's a
so
guaranteed
easy to
kill
break that
every time.
ulti, though.
Oh, it definitely is, which is I think why he
It's
roamed
so
bottom to
easy
kill
to
off
break
that
that
bounty
Fiend's grip.
hunter. He didn't have any support down in bottom lane, so
Yeah.
it was a kill every time if they had vision on him.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go with a 4 heroes going against a solo, you're pretty much gonna get that kill every time. No matter who you are.
Yes, indeed.
Alrighty, GG.
Good game. Go next.